Good morning. It's the morning break. I'm Rob Patz on your favorite social media platform, hanging out with you on this Tuesday, September 9th already. And this is what happens when you go outside in Ohio right before you do a show. You get all this kind of stuff going on. Have no idea how I'm going to fix that. Not going to fix it during the show. You'll just have to enjoy whatever that is, whatever happens. Sometimes you have obviously way too much hair product. Great to have you along. Hey, did you watch Monday Night Football last night? As a Minnesota resident for the first 10 years of my life, I still have a little bit of heart for the Minnesota Vikings. And hey, that was a comeback. JJ McCarthy, what a cool game. If you're a football fan at all, I mean, I pretty much had counted them out. And you know, I hate to say it, but it was like, oh, that game's toast. And he looked lost first three quarters, but the Vikes come back to win 27-24. Great game, great weekend of football. Great way to finish the weekend. No, my Seahawks didn't do well, but, you know, still great football weekend. Ohio State won, which it was not a real challenge game, but they won. And it's good to be here with you, the morning break on this Tuesday, September 9th. 9th month, 9th day. Kind of cool. Don't know why I thought of that, but I did. Also, my birthday month. I think I'm on the air for my birthday month, which is an awesome thing. We'll celebrate together. A little time to hang out. Got my coffee. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I want to talk. There's a bunch of stuff I want to talk about, but I was talking with a friend of mine right before we came on the air, and this is something that they're trying out in Branson, Missouri. Okay, so if you live or planning to travel in the next couple of weeks to Branson, Missouri, you need to check this out. McDonald's, which no shade. If you like McDonald's, and I'll eat McDonald's on occasion. It's been a couple of years, honestly, since I've been there. But you know, not throwing any shade if you like your McDonald's. And I was thinking of this when I read this story. And then I heard about this on the news. When I was a kid, this would have been amazing. McDonald's unveiling in Branson, Missouri, all you can eat lunch. All you can eat lunch for $12.99. All you can eat. And it's not just limited from the press release that I got. They are going to have Big Macs, quarter pounders, cheeseburgers, fries, and nuggets all on this this buffet. Buffet started this week, yesterday, and they say that there were people like with two trays, and what a great lunch price, $12.99. I mean, and yes, and we've talked a lot about McDonald's in the show because they realized that their prices had gotten ridiculous. Like value meal prices were ridiculous. So interesting thing, they have now said, hey, listen, we understand. We hear you. And I mean, can you imagine as a kid? Oh, I would have been, football time when I used to play football, they'd have been scared to see me come in there for $12.99. If it would have been equivalent price when I was in high school. Oh goodness. My friends and I'd have taken my whole offensive line, made sure that they all got lunch because that is a fantastic price. $12.99. They're trying it out. They said, here's their deal. They said, hey, listen, this is something new. We've never tried it before. If it's successful, and if we, you know, of course they've got to look at it for a couple reasons. They've got to look at it financially. And they said, hey, listen, if it's successful in Branson, and it looks good financially, we are going to bring it to stores all over the country. So would you go? That's the question of the day. And that's where we're at on this is, would you go And is it something that for $12.99 you think you could get your money's worth? Now I know I could get my money's worth because I'd eat a couple of quarter pounders, some fries, and that would be more than the price. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm just I think as I get older, I'm not as big of a person in doing these whole buffet things. When I was younger, oh goodness, college buffets saved my life in college because financially you could go to a buffet and completely like eat for a day and or two if you were smart and knew how to sneak stuff out. Not saying I did, not saying I did, but people did. Hey, listen, I talked about it at the start of the show. We've got great coffee every day. This is the dark roast from the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee. 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. When we come back, and I'll tell you this, and I've thought of this for a while over the last day or so. I have never had a guest who only had one name. Never got a chance to interview people like Prince or Madonna or anybody like that. But today, on the morning break, I get a chance to interview someone who only has one name. We'll do that after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy. A life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Seven Weeks Coffee. Remember, use the promo code ATV10 when you order. Fantastic coffee. Now, I'm totally vibing with the dark roast. It's my favorite right now. Of course, I got to add creamer, but they have a great. Now, here's what I would do, and this was the first order that I did, was a variety pack, and that way we got a chance to try all their different. Because not everybody's the same. Not everybody likes dark roast. I think the longer you drink coffee, dark roast becomes a cool thing to you. But hey, listen, go to 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. And like I said before the break, my first time, and I have been doing interviews for over 25 years. My first time to interview somebody who goes by one name. Please welcome from EPW, Onyx. Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning. Thank you so much for asking.
And it's great to have you with us. Give everybody a little bit that may not have heard over the weekend. We announced with Abundant TV that Abundant TV will be carrying EPW. You are a part of that. You are an integral part. Dare I say, you are the glue that keeps
I
them
don't think
together.
that. But
I want to get you a little
tribe.
heat.
I'm
I want to get you a little heat in the back,
Okay.
in the locker room there. We're gonna say you're the glue. Kyle's not watching, so it doesn't matter.
I'm not sure I can stand my ground against some of those tough guys.
Yeah.
Pretty strong. They're pretty strong.
They are. Tell everybody a little bit about how you got your journey to get into EPW, first of all.
Well, actually it was kind of an interesting thing that happened where I connected with Kyle, and he has a terrific testimony. And I have a podcast called I Didn't Sign Up for This, and that's on Spotify. And I thought he'd be a perfect fit for the podcast. And so he came on. And, it's funny how when you meet certain people, you connect about certain topics, right? We discussed that, you and I, even a little bit earlier, and we really connected on spiritual warfare. And we kind of talked about the armor of God. And he was like, wow, she really has the same heart, right? Of the message of Ephesians Pro Wrestling. So, with that being said, he said, I would love to offer you some tickets to come to a show. And to be honest, I really hadn't heard about them. And I live real close to Fate. So I wasn't so sure what to expect, but I love doing content. So I said, would the guys be okay if I came in and shot some? How would you feel about that? And he said, oh, sure, come on in. And so I kind of just dived in and started photographing. And let me tell you, I was truly blown away by the show, the talent, the strength, just the message of Ephesians Pro Wrestling. And when I left there, I thought, man, I can take on anything, and everybody needs to know that we're here. So I just was so passionate about it. I thought, I'm not sure why we're not getting the message out. So I'm just so glad that, we're going on Abundant TV. It's a Christian network. And again, that aligns with, Ephesians Pro Wrestling. So with that being said, it's just a great platform for the ministry and to get the word out, because it's a fantastic show, but also a fantastic ministry and message. So it's more than just the show.
Yeah, it is. It's
Mhm.
much more than a show. So you went to your first event and you
Yes.
took pictures. How
Yeah.
long till it got to a point where you were working there? Because it started off as just a fan.
Correct. I just started off just as a fan. And it's interesting. I feel like the Lord was showing me. He was showing me, and then Kyle would say something to me, and he'd show me something else, and then Kyle would say something to me, and I thought, oh my goodness, what are you doing here, Lord? Like, the Lord is always one step ahead of us, and I really kind of saw myself getting involved, but I didn't say anything. He then came to me, and I said yes, because the Lord had already shown me, right? Like, be prepared, and I think that was more of a confirming word for me, and it aligns with everything else that I'm occupied with doing. It doesn't take away from anything else in my life. And as a matter of fact, it just adds to. And that's another, I think, important thing to note, that when we do things and it's aligned with what God has for you, it's going to add to your life. It's not going to take away. So that's certainly what this does for me.
And I find that when we do things that are aligning with what God wants, there's no
Mhm.
stress to it.
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, it feels just natural.
Yeah, it feels very natural. And my name, even, when I prayed, I said, Lord, what would my name be? And the Lord just really said Onyx. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool name. And I started just diving into scripture and looking at where Onyx is mentioned biblically. And I was like, wow, it's an incredible name that I was gifted, I felt like. And so Kyle's like, well, tell me what name you want to be, and I'll decide whether that's acceptable or not. And then he's like, no, that's a great, we can keep it. Yeah. So yeah. So even to my name, the Lord really gave that to me. And it's a stone that's on the breastplates of the high priests. I mean, it's mentioned in Genesis, Exodus, Revelations. It's pretty awesome.
So from when you were the fan, like, give our
Sure.
viewers a timeline. So you were a fan first, then Kyle asked you, how long until you started showing up
Wow,
on the next,
fast.
huh?
It was fast.
Okay.
Yeah, like it was 3 shows, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it was very, very fast. But I guess to circle back a little bit, I had auditioned for a reoccurring character in another ministry. Um, and I had done a table read for that. And I was like, oh man, I knew I had done well in that audition because I'm also an actress. And I loved it because it was a reoccurring character. And as an actress, I loved, of all the things I've done, my heart has always been ministry and wanting to serve. And so I had followed up with them, and they had just said, oh, we gave you a script from an old TV character that we had. And I was like, oh, kind of inner disappointed, because I loved the concept of being a recurring character, right? Kind of diving into that. So even though that opportunity didn't come out with them, there are future opportunities with them as well, but not as a recurring character. And that had been my prayer. So when Kyle came to me it was like, oh my goodness, the Lord's found another avenue for me to be a recurring character, to serve, which is my heart, which is in ministry. And it's really my neighboring town where I live. So everything just lined up. So of course it was a yes for me.
So you talk about being an actress, and
Yes.
tell me, I've always wanted to know this, and I ask a lot when I do interviews. So,
Okay.
like, when you go into a character, do you close your eyes and like imagine that character in your head first before you go in and do like a table read, like you talked about?
Yeah, for sure. So there's different types of opportunities you'll have. Some you're going to be put right on the spot, and then other times you're going to get a script. So with the character of Marge that I was referring to earlier, I was given a script early, so a couple days beforehand, I had a chance to read over it and really not only memorize my lines, but think, who is she? And I kept thinking she worked in a sweater barn. So she was funny to me. And I kept thinking, sweater weather, sweater weather. So I gave her a Long Island accent. I gave her a lot of personality. She was kind of quirky. And so in that case, you can be more into play. Um, Other times it's a cold read. And
Mhm.
so they're looking for something different. Are you willing to step up to the plate? Can you handle the lines, the pressure of that? So um, I think they're all looking for something different. But if they're really looking for a character, usually you'll get your script prior and have a chance to prepare in your mind.
Okay. So I love
Yeah.
to ask this question of people.
Okay.
So here we go. And
Okay.
just so you know, Onyx got none of this ahead of time. And that's why I like it, because I like to get
Okay.
real raw answers to this.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, okay. So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
If we're talking again,
Yes.
September 9th of 2026, what is one thing in this year from today till next year that you want to accomplish? That is on your heart that God has given you to want to accomplish?
Oh, sharing my testimony.
Tell everybody a little bit about that. Without, because I know we want people to go to your podcast. Where can they find your podcast?
Currently, right now, I'm only on Spotify, but I am working on trying to get on other platforms and kind of getting the media side of things as well to it. Right now, it's just audio, but I do think there's something special about that to be said. The voice,
Yep. Love.
it's very
Yeah.
impactful. Yeah, you know that because you have a podcast as well.
Yep.
Um, but I think our testimonies are personal. They're transparent, authentic, right? So they're hard to share. They
And
can be
that's
hard to
something
share.
though that you really want to do this year, is share your
Yes.
testimony. Well, then I'll be praying for you, because that is one of the tough things. And so do you think you're going to see an expanded role for Onyx on EPW?
I don't know. I I have so much joy in, which is funny to me because I didn't really necessarily have a skill set of being behind the camera, but I have grown to love that in the essence of capturing these little clips of people. And I love the laughs of the kids after the show, kind of the little flirty of the girls. They're like, "Oh, he talked to me, he signed my poster, Um, all of that just really it makes my heart so happy. Um, a lot of people want to see me in the ring. They want to see me in the ring. I'm not sure I'm in a fitness place currently to do that. But someone actually mentioned it just yesterday, and I said, "Do y'all just want to see me get pounded or what?" And he
Those are
said,
not your
"No."
friends. Trust me.
Yeah, y- yeah.
Those are not, because I've been around wrestling enough to know
Oh,
it it is. Yeah, see, things are falling off.
they
Uh
are. They are.
there you
They're
go.
long legs.
But the thing is, you don't want to get hit. It hurts. It even hurts when
Right.
it's not supposed to hurt. So,
Right, right. Yeah, but he was sweet. And when I asked him the question, he goes, "No, I just want to see you win," which I thought was really sweet.
oh,
He loved the idea of Onyx is just victorious. So I thought
that's
it was really actually a really sweet, you know what I mean? thing for him to say. So
that is so cool. Onyx,
yeah.
thanks so much for being with us on
sure.
today's edition of the Morning Break. Check out EPW coming to Abundant TV the first Saturday in October. We will, I'm sure, talk again. It was great having you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great day. Bye.
And when we come back, it's my final thoughts after this.
Social media today is noisy, divided, and too often hostile to Christian values, a place where truth is twisted and faith is often silenced. What if there was a place for believers where you could share your story, grow in your faith, and be encouraged every day? Introducing Acts Social, the #1 Christ-centered social platform built to unite Christians worldwide in truth, hope, and love. Share your faith openly. Discover powerful, uplifting content. Join prayer groups. Encourage others. Find news and events from a biblical worldview all in one place. And do it all free from big tech censorship, invasive tracking, and endless ads. Because the body of Christ was never meant to be scattered. It was meant to be together, every day, everywhere. ActsSocial.com, the fastest growing platform for Christ-centered connection. Join us and be part of something eternal.
Hey, you need to check out Acts Social. Acts Social is one of the really neat social media websites in the world right now. And in fact, it's so neat that my wife and I decided to become corporate sponsors of Acts Social. You can find both of us over there. Find Jason Webb from our the Thrive with Rob and Jason there, and of course our Abundant group. Plus, I know that Kyle from EPW is over there, and EPW actually has a group, and so that is super cool. And you can check out actsocial.com. And I believe if you go there, they're going to ask you for a referral. Put ATV on there, and I'd appreciate that so very much. Plus, once you get on, hey, find me, add me as a friend. And then also, when you're there, go to what's called the Abundant group. It's super cool. We're going to be talking about that. And my wife and I are getting ready to launch a brand new Bible study. And so be watching because we'll have information in there. So if you're online, missing an opportunity to be able to fellowship in a Bible study atmosphere, join us for those, and you'll find information at abundanttv.com within the next couple of days, probably today. Depends if I have time. Hey, a couple of things I want to talk about as our final thought for today. Samsung, not to be outdone, is of course, Apple getting ready to unveil their new phone. Samsung does the same thing. They unveil the Samsung Galaxy S25 and also a brand new tablet. And the tablet is their S11. Now, I used to, and I think I've told you the story, I had a Galaxy. I had the Galaxy Note 7. Yes, the one that decided it wanted to combust. And I had one of those. I had switched from an Apple phone to that and then immediately switched back. Never have gone back. Not going to. My whole world is in the Apple world now, and I can't go back. So just so you know, but SC25, the Galaxy 25 from Samsung is out right now, they said. And hey, listen, I mean, if you're an Android person, and there are parts of the country, in the world especially, where Android is super popular. And so if you are, that's cool. Hey, listen, I love food, and this will be our final story for today. And as I said, I love good food, and Steak Shack has come up, and they are launching their Shake Shack. Did I call it Steak Shack? I did. Shake Shack has launched a brand new line. It's going to be out on the app starting today, and it is their French onion inspired menu. Who doesn't love French onion? I mean, like French onion, everything. That reminds me of something, but we'll talk about that after I come out of this. But they're going to have soup. They're going to have some burgers that have French onion connection to them. And they're going to also have, which is also important because my wife is a vegetarian, they are adding a whole line of vegetarian stuff. And they're going to have garlic fries with onions on them. Check it out on the app on the 9th. That's today. It's going to be available everywhere on September 12th. So on this Friday, go to Shake Shack, not Steak Shack, as I mentioned earlier in this segment, but to Shake Shack and get a burger. Now you're going to get a lot. I'm going to get heat on that because a lot of people think Shake Shack burgers aren't that great. Personally, love their burgers, love their stuff. Everything that they have is good. Interested to see how this plays out. Where's the time gone? It has gone by way too fast today. Hey, remember tomorrow on the show, my buddy Jason Webb comes and hangs out with me for a little bit. We talk about Thrive on Thursday. And plus, you know what we should do? I really do. I think we should do some kind of contest. We'll talk about it. Maybe you and I will talk about it tomorrow and we'll come up with what it is. But it's going to be it's going to be neat. We're working on it. Remember the great folks at 7 Weeks Coffee, 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you buy, because that helps, gives them you get a discount, and it lets them know that their advertising dollar is going to a great place like Abundant TV. And remember, hey, listen, I got to tell you this, because this is the first show where I've done this on a Tuesday. Join my wife and I tonight for a brand new Rob and Kristen show on the app. Go to the app if you've got Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, any of those things. Watch us 8 o'clock Eastern time. It's the Rob and Kristen show. Brand new episode. We shot the open in Mackinac Island. Super fun. You're going to want to check that out. Hey, listen, have a great day. Go out and do something amazing today, and I'll see you tomorrow for the morning break.